Well, Britney Spears just posting pictures on her Instagram saying, "Oh, look, it's me, Diane Warren, and Ben Affleck. Oh, I forgot. I made out with him that night. Bye." People kind of calculated that she was 17 and a half and he was 30.
Yeah.
So
that was kind of an age gap.
She was, that night was the Hit Me Baby One More Time album release party. You know, because the internet knows things. And
I saw something, and I need to do some cleanup on aisle 4 because I saw other people dropping pieces of gossip from back in the day that they like made out, and it was somewhere else. So I feel like there's still more detail to this story. Like, I don't know if she's probably not going to talk about it more. She didn't talk about it in her book, but I feel like people are going to start going back now to see like what was actually going on around that time.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, she was a hot young celebrity superstar who was like on top of the world, and he was a creepy older dude. That's what was going on. I looked up who he was dating at the time. I also did a deep dive on figuring out what movies he was in the summer of 1999.
Okay.
And what movie premieres were out, because I wanted to see who he was with at certain premieres, and it was like American Pie, The Mummy, movies like that. And he was alone on the red carpet. So he was on again, off again with Gwyneth Paltrow at the time. So I guess he was off again with her. But so I don't know. I mean,
well,
that's a big.
I'm sure he's not going to be talking about it anytime soon.
No.
That's for darn sure. I saw a headline that saw a picture of him like he was out and about, like Ben Affleck surfaces for the first time after Britney Spears admits they made out in 1999.
I know. If this is the worst thing that we say about Ben Affleck, I think we're doing okay, right?
Well,
I
yeah.
mean, it's not the
Again, he's not going to talk about
thing.
it. I love that she just forgot. How do you forget that you made out with Ben Affleck? I mean, how many celebrities have you actually been with?
Well, I mean, at the time, I guess everything that's happened from then until now. I mean, have you ever forgotten that you made out with someone and then you're talking to them and then you think, oh, and then it kind of comes back to you?
Yeah, but not a celebrity.
But these are like her peers. It'd just be like a normal thing.
Yeah.
You know, she's probably
she
made out with
obviously
a
did
lot of
forget.
celebrities, like
I just
Colin
feel like
Farrell
I would not forget.
Okay. Well, who knows? I don't know. He's kind of forgettable, isn't he? I mean,
what? Do
J-Lo.
you think you would have forgotten making out with Ben Affleck?
Well, if he was the only, but we're normies, and they are all celebrities, so he's just another one. She's another one of those guys. Well, there are better things to talk about, I think. Let's get to some blind items.
We got blind items for sure.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's get started with this one here, a play along at home. How about we start right here? This former A-list celebrity gossip writer inadvertently revealed his true identity, and the fallout of his extramarital affair is far and wide.
What? Who could this be, Dawn?
Oh, God. Yeah.
You guys have any guess on who that could be? There's so many.
Zero guess. I don't know. Can you give us a hint? You said A-list celebrity.
A-list celebrity gossip writer.
Celebrity? Do we know any?
Like
Anonymous?
a blogger. Yeah, an anonymous one, yeah.
Formerly anonymous.
It's not Perez Hilton because
It's not.
He's not
knows.
anonymous.
Yeah.
This is, I believe this individual works all day long.
He does.
Well, clearly this person
And
is
all
more
night
than one
long.
person, but we'll get to that. I think we know who you're talking about.
He covers all of the wild things that happen all day long.
This
on a website
would
called,
be
Go ahead.
Enty Lawyer.
Yes. Crazy Days and Nights, of course.
Dawn!
What is happening?
Breaking news!
This is really big news.
All right, fill in the blanks, Mike.
NT Lawyer, and you guys can fill in his real name as you have it in there in front of you, inadvertently released his true identity and the fallout of an extramarital relationship, and it's far and wide, it's deep, it's disgusting at times, and it is not good.
It was a roller coaster, man. So this expose, the Daily Beast, was published yesterday. A bunch of listeners started sending this on social media. We got some tweets like, hey, did you guys see the story? And it was one of those things where I was like, didn't we already know who this was? Because he was separately outed because of a lawsuit against him by one of the former Real Housewives.
Diana Jenkins.
And
billionaire Diana Jenkins.
Yeah. And he was forced to publish a retraction on the website. And I didn't go into detail at that point, but this is a whole different kettle of fish, as my grandpa would have said. And the expose that the Daily Beast reported on shows him to not only be a real person, a lawyer, although we don't know if he's an actual entertainment lawyer. It says all they know is that he's a lawyer registered in California. So he's a lawyer.
Yeah, we don't know if he's currently practicing law.
Do you have his full name in front of you?
It is J.R. Nelson, John Robert Nelson.
Yeah. So Mr. Nelson, in addition to being a lawyer, also kind of a gross dude.
Totally gross.
John, do you want to say some of the allegations? Now, we should just set it up. The reason we know this is because he is engaged in a legal battle with a woman he is alleged to have had an affair with.
Yes.
He is trying to get a restraining order against her, and in response, she has made some claims against him and also given footage and or evidence to reporters who've asked her about it.
Yes, she's a podcaster named Cassandra Crows. He and his wife tried to get a restraining order against her in Florida, and apparently what happened is that she booked him for an interview on her podcast, and that was an interview that she did, and they started doing more interviews. She said that they had, he also says that they had an affair, and then she started texting him and calling him up to 100 times a day. She claimed that she was pregnant, he says, and falsely accused him of molesting her daughter.
So there's a contentious legal battle going on between these two. But I will say she had receipts, not about those allegations per se, but specifically about some of the sexual nature of their relationship, which was pretty dark and involves some violence and just some abusive language and behavior. That's all laid out in that Daily Beast article.
Oh, yeah.
And by receipts, I mean, I believe she played audio for the reporter.
Yes, that was definitely his voice because he's done many interviews. I mean,
yeah, the reporter said that it sounded like his voice.
Yeah. So, these are all alleged crimes, and he was paying her off, I guess, $1,500 per month.
Well, he says that he was giving her, that she had demanded $1,500 a month so that she wouldn't reveal who he was. It's going to get uglier before I think it gets not uglier, at least insofar as this story is concerned. I am curious to see how the world reacts to this story, because he was right there at the beginning of this whole Me Too movement in terms of, I can just say from a pop culture perspective, we relied on Enty Lawyer to provide info on a lot of the people that were later proven to be, I just don't even know what the word, just all of the disgusting men in Hollywood. In some way, he would have tips about and had a lot of that information before major news outlets did. People like Harvey Weinstein, people like Matt Lauer, people like Kevin Spacey. And that was huge at the time.
Right.
And so he has had an influence, I'm saying, on the world of blind items and pop culture. So it'll be interesting to see how this story unfolds and how that affects the world of blind items. Certainly how it affects this show, because it's not like we're running towards that content. Right.
Exactly.
The good news is he didn't start a movement, but he's part of a much larger movement. The world of blind items ain't going anywhere, and there are plenty of places to get blind items. But I think I still think this is a unique story. So I'm curious. I don't know what you think, Dawn, but I'm curious to see where it goes.
I am curious to see where it goes as well, especially since this judge said, I think you should get a lawyer. You should get a lawyer, and I can't help you right now with your filing and the injunction, but you need to get more serious with this complaint.
The initial judge said you didn't file the right paperwork and you haven't provided enough evidence to justify a restraining order. And there is now litigation that's pending in the state of Florida because he obviously figured out a lawyer and got that process going. So we don't know is the point of that is that we don't know where that's going to go, if he's going to get that injunction against her or if she'll bring legal action against him, because that, we should be clear, has not happened as far as we know.
Right. So, and then it says that he did not respond to the request for comment.
And content still being published on that website, right, Mike?
Yeah, it's it's being published right now. It's the time is a little different, of course, but new items are, every time I hit refresh, there's a new item up there. So and people in the comments are very quick to point out some of these allegations and to call him out for.
Well, and they should be like, you don't play by, you live by
Okay.
the sword. I don't want to say you live by the sword, you die by the sword, but there's a little bit of that feeling, right? Like if you're engaging in the behavior that you've been calling out on other people over the years, again, these are allegations, but blind items, are they any different? Not really. You have sort of made a name for yourself doing this. How then do you respond? So the fact that he hasn't responded, and the fact that, I think that's surprising, but the fact that his readers and viewers are calling him out does not surprise me at all.
I'm just thinking back in my mind also, if these allegations are true, some of the things that he was into and that you can read, it's a lot of misogyny, and we know that there are certain women in Hollywood that you can tell that he just doesn't like.
Absolutely.
And you're like, well, he just doesn't like her for some reason. And it sort of makes sense now to me. You know?
We have called that out in the past and frequently on
like
the
he
show.
hates Selena Gomez.
Meghan Markle.
And I will say on both cases, there's often been, and again, we don't talk about these blind items. I don't bring those blind items into it, but there are a lot of times weight shaming tied to both of those two women.
Yeah.
So it's no shock, and it is certainly feels on brand based on what we were hearing from these comments.
And I will say, so we have shifted away from going to those places because it's not always reliable, and it is so fraught with. Okay, let me also be clear. I think there's a couple things that we need to be explicit about, which is that I don't think NT Lawyer is the sole person publishing content on that website.
No.
He is the person behind it, responsible for it, probably the one making the most money off of it. But you have to believe, and in fact, we know that there are other people publishing blind items to that site. It will be interesting as well as the story unfolds to see if those people come forward, talk about what they know, share things. If the site continues on with other publishers or other people putting out blind items, because you also have to believe that there's a network around
absolutely.
NT Lawyer in terms of because he didn't just happen to know things. People had to be feeding him those things in the same way that they feed, because at the end of the day, this is no different really than I don't want to say no different. In many ways, it's very similar to what a traditional tabloid does. Yeah. Unfounded stories attached to sources. But sometimes and increasingly, those sources are connected to the celebrities or the subjects of the stories themselves. And I don't think blind items are different in that way. I think that celebrities understand now the power of blind items, and their people probably have, or it wouldn't surprise me if their people try to send info that is, beneficial to that celebrity or not, depending on who it is.
Or somebody who
there are people
you want to
gaming
bring
the system,
down,
right?
For sure. It seems more, with a tabloid, I'm always thinking about, did the celebrity's publicist call? Is this a payment saying if you publish this about this celebrity, we'll give you an interview with one of our other people that we manage. My boyfriend notices we get People magazine, and he's always on the hunt. In the magazine each month, there will be a picture of Eva Longoria. It's kind of like a fun thing, where's Eva Longoria? And so we looked up her management company and who else she represents.
Yeah.
They represent, just trying to make the connection. It's like a fun game we do now, because she really does produce a lot of movies now and do things, but we're like, why is she always in every People magazine?
Well, it's the same reason. No, but I mean, you're not think about the 5 celebrities we see in headlines every day. There is a reason that those celebrities are in headlines every day. And the vast majority of other celebrities are not, who have equally, if not more interesting, salacious or otherwise gossip-worthy lives. It's because that their people are the ones connecting with those who publish this content. That's a tale as old as time. Look at Perez Hilton. He had people, behind the scenes funneling him information, celebrities and stars, and people connected. Remember, he tried to tell us this whole story about Britney because allegedly somebody close to Britney told him some stuff. So all I'm saying is that I think because Enty Lawyer's brand is very much about Enty Lawyer, it might make people think that this is just one guy on a keyboard.
It's not.
I
Not
feel
anymore.
like-
It might have been 17 years ago when he started
Yeah,
this.
for sure. But
Yeah.
in the same way, Dumois is not just one person on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's now a team, but it is a far darker, more mysterious entity, if you will, than most. So that's where I'm curious to see if we start to learn more as the public gaze turns towards this story. Will people start digging more or uncovering more? And ultimately, what will they uncover and what will they find? And truly, that means we're never going to be short of blind items. Am I right? Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Amen. Speaking of which, let's do
get to
some.
Do we do an actual blind
We'll
item?
do some quick ones here. Yes, we'll run through these.
This cat with cute fur. All our blind items are going to be like...
Swiped at a golden retriever.
All right, we'll try this one. The newest edition of this hit franchise is hitting a number of snags. Apparently, after the A-list actor who also directs went head-to-head with the creator, so too are now the less-known stars. They want to get theirs to carry the story until they break the bank when they can, until the new favorite, mostly A-list actor joins the franchise. So once again, we've got a massive hit franchise that's hit a number of snags because an A-list actor who directs went head-to-head with the creator. Now the lesser-known stars from that franchise want to basically break the bank here before another A-list actor shows up.
Is this a TV franchise or a movie franchise?
It is a TV franchise.
Okay.
A massive hit franchise.
Hit franchise.
I'm assuming, or not assuming, I don't want to assume anymore. Does this have anything to do with like what's it called? The Western guy.
Yeah.
Taylor Sheridan.
Taylor Sheridan.
That would be the
Okay.
creator.
And Kevin Costner?
That would be the A-list actor who directs.
Okay.
And now apparently all the lesser-known stars on the show want to get theirs before another A-list actor shows up.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, yeah. It's, who did we know was coming
Yeah,
to
somebody
the franchise? Vince Vaughn. No. Cher. No.
Oh, it's somebody huge. Maybe you want to watch it.
Huge.
Why are you here?
Why are you
Matthew
here?
McConaughey!
That is correct. The newest edition of the Yellowstone franchise, which, of course, I'll fill in the blinds here, which is 2024, is apparently now hitting a bunch of snags because after Kevin Costner went head-to-head with Taylor Sheridan, all of the lesser-known stars on the cast, they want paydays. They want to make their money before Matthew McConaughey shows up and takes it all.
Well, that makes sense.
I don't blame them. Give us our money because Matthew McConaughey's about his multi-level marketing scheme didn't.
Oh my God! I
pan
still
out the
get
way he
emails. I unsubscribed.
What was that thing called, Dawn, that you got hooked in?
Oh, I just wanted to see what the seminars were
Nice try.
like.
You fell for it.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
I wanted to see how culty it was. And
Yeah,
it was
but you
real
were
How culty was it?
It was so culty that I sacrificed a goat one night.
Oh, Dawn!
I'm kidding. Don't call me PETA.
I was going to say, before PETA calls us,
No.
we don't even ride animals on carousels anymore.
Well, that's nice.
No, what I was going to say is it didn't seem like it was that successful, to be quite honest with you, because we watched the infomercial for this organization. Do you remember what the name of it was?
Green lights.
Is that what it's called?
Green lights.
Green Lights?
Yeah, Green Lights is the name of his book.
Oh, okay.
Matthew McConaughey's Pyramid Scheme. Matthew McConaughey.
Is that what it says, under the name Green Lights? Matthew McConaughey's Pyramid Scheme. All are welcome, especially if you have a big bank account.
Oh, boy.
You had to pay a lot of money to access. It was
The
very
art of living.
art
art
of
of
living.
With no
yes.
G, living.
Of course it's living. Because he's just a good old country boy.
Okay.
All right, we'll move on from some good old country
Sure.
boys there and do another one here. How about this one? The team behind this permanent A-list actor was lit up after he met with a guy who's even higher and more permanent A-list than he is. Our actor has very specific rules, and those rules were not followed, or the other side just didn't care. We've got a permanent A-list actor who's mad after meeting with somebody higher on the list.
Ooh, okay. Permanent A-list.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise?
Yep.
He's mad because when you think about rules, I think about Tom Cruise.
Well,
Yeah, so
and who's
remind me
higher on the list?
it was Prince William. And it has to do with the video shot of the two of them together wherein Tom Cruise looks like a Smurf.
Correct.
Oh, God.
And I don't know if you've met
I
Tom
gotta
Cruise
see it.
before,
You need to see it.
Oh.
but
Okay.
he is a little sensitive about his stature.
Yeah. It's unbelievable how small of a
Like
human
that
he looks.
poor cameraman is going to never work again.
Or, again, according to the blind item, maybe it's a situation where you can make rules for other people. You can't make rules for royals.
Yeah.
And their royal photographers
No,
are
you
like,
can't.
no, we're
I'm
just going to take the
sorry.
Guess
picture how
what?
we want to take the picture.
Prince William, soon to be, or not soon.
Yeah.
Eventually to be king.
Oh, God.
What?
Did you see the picture?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
bad.
mean, I've seen a lot of pictures. There's one from below that he must have had his person take.
No, there's a video. The video makes him really look like it almost looks like a fisheye lens
Oh,
where
okay.
Tom Cruise is just weeny teeny tiny.
It was
No.
insane.
Yeah.
Did he crawl
Very
out of a
Lilliputian.
hobbit hole? Okay.
So there you go. You can check that out when you've got an opportunity to
Oh,
do so. It
gosh,
is certainly
if you feel
worth it.
petty.
Yes, exactly.
Oh God, and why not? It's low stakes petty, man.
Yeah.
And it's Tom Cruise. I think we can all
Yes, we're
true.
allowed.
we can laugh at his expense from time to time.
It's okay. He's fine.
Well, let's do another one here. The rift has never been so wide between this A-list singer/actress and a once higher on the list family member. Further proof was the singer leaving the relative out of her thanks after a huge first.
Oh, Miley Cyrus.
That's the
Billy
one.
Ray
Her daddy.
Cyrus.
There you go.
That is Irish.
No underpants.
Cruising right on through it. According to the blind item, the rift has never been so big between the two, as Miley Cyrus did not include her dad in her first ever Grammy win acceptance speech.
You know,
It was on purpose.
what?
I think it was on purpose.
Oh, well, I wouldn't be
100%.
surprised at all.
Because she goes, let's see. Did I forget anybody? Nope.
No.
Oh, except I forgot my underwear.
Yeah, and there's been some cleanup in aisle 3, I think, with that story since, but I don't, again. And also, it's fine. People are allowed to have problematic, strained at times, difficult or otherwise not perfect relationships with their friends and family.
That's right.
It's totally fine. It's not like he's Jamie Spears. No, what's his name? Daddy Spears?
Yeah, Jamie Spears.
Jamie Spears. Jamie Lynn is his sister. Her sister. You know what I'm saying.
Yes.
We
There's
got
too
you.
many names.
The art of living is what they need to do.
Why are you here?
Why are you here? Well, I'm here for blind items, but I'm also here for juicy gossip.
Those are blind
It's
items.
the same thing.
Well, then I'll give you another
You have
one.
another
Oh,
one?
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Good. Let's do it.
This pair completely overestimated their value on the fair market. Now that they realize nobody cares about them, they're going to continue their DIY content, this time back in front of a camera.
DIY content in front of a camera.
So we've got a pair that completely overestimated their value on the fair market. Now that they realize no one cares, they are going to continue their DIY content, this time in front of a camera.
This isn't the Magnolia Network people.
It is
Okay.
not.
Yeah, like the only place I went was like the Property Brothers.
Yeah, well,
Nope.
I was talking about Joanna,
Yeah,
Chip and Joanna. What about Chrissy Teigen and John Legend? Okay, knew she had a
So
brand.
duo, how did you describe them again?
Just a pair. This
a
pair.
pair. A married pair?
No.
A friendly pair?
Yep.
Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart.
Nope.
Open market.
We're talking about a pair that were seen together, were really talked about as a couple, and then this pair went out and thought their value was maybe higher than it really
Sydney
was.
Sweeney
Nope.
and
a pair that, again, are going back in front of a camera. Because lately we've only been hearing them behind a microphone.
Oh, Amy Robach and TJ Holmes.
And we're running out of time. But there you go.
Okay.
TJ Holmes and Amy Robach. Apparently it sounds like a reality television show might be in the works.
All right, I'm here
Okay.
for it.
So-
I think they're good for the visual medium.
Yeah. Apparently they didn't have the credibility they thought they did from a news standpoint, so now they're going to, in addition to their podcast, potentially work on a reality TV
Well, and they gave
show.
us all their secrets in the podcast. So
They
there's nothing left.
did. I think they need to get their TV faces back on.
Yeah, I think it'll be good for all of us.
Yes.
Hey, Mike, thank you for those juicy bits of
course.
gossip with the names left out. Listeners, if you missed any or you want to download the back catalog, do so to your heart's content wherever you get podcasts. It's just Blinded by the Item. Search, then like and subscribe and tell all your friends about it. We'll be back tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Not weekends because it's only on weekdays. Blinded by the Item.
Bye.